Hello my fellow adventurers, Vatiwah here, and welcome to another marvelous Skyrim mod review series. Now in this mod review series, I will be showing you guys some fantastic, skimpy, and strange mods for Skyrim. My character Cat is having a very fun time at Riverwood Keep, blasting these eggs everywhere, and it kind of reminds me of being at a giant ball pit at McDonald's.
Welcome to McDonald's, can I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like to get a 10-piece McNugget and a bunch of the Szechuan sauce.
However, speaking of McDonald's, my character is kind of hungry, so she's gonna need to go to town to get something to eat. I heard there are some very yummy horker pie in Whiterun, and what the hell is this? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Are you guys seeing this? There is an enemy with a level 3 helmet coming right at me. What is this? PUBG? PUBG costume by Skyrim Vietnam will allow you to run around in Tamriel like you just murdered a few players and got their gear. Now the PUBG outfit can be found by using the add item menu mod or by adding it in with the command console. The outfit has the iconic level 3 helmet, which should be enough to take a blow from a crossbow shot. We have a white shirt and red tie, and every player must have the utility belt well to carry loot at the beginning of a game, right? Now the strange thing is that the outfit has only a level 1 backpack, so I kind of expected it to be a level 3 or at least a level 2 backpack. Now the backpack doesn't really offer any inventory or weight increases. We also have the frying pan as a weapon. The frying pan is a melee weapon, and I'm kind of sad that it doesn't make the same sound as in PUBG when you hit someone with it. I never really killed anyone with a pan in PUBG before, unless you count like friendly fire while swinging it in a vehicle. Yes indeed, that happens all the time, right guys? Now the only other thing that might be different is the fact that the frying pan is situated on the side of your character, not above your butt like in PUBG. The PUBG outfit is for CBBE body. You can probably get away with wearing it with other body types just because it pretty much covers their entire body, so there won't be any noticeable seams or mismatches. Now the question is, who is this mysterious player that tried to kill me for my loot? Time to amass this person to see who he or she is, kind of like what the Scooby-Doo gang does all the time.
Now let's see who these two characters really are. The Spectre.
Time to remove the level 3 helmet. It looks like we got ourselves another elf right here. We have Eleanor follower by FTW4, and it's an elf follower that kind of reminds me of elves that you would see in any other RPG. She can be found at the Gilded Green Tree in Whiterun. She is naked when you first find her though, so be careful. Eleanor has light gray eyes and has light gray hair. She does have a look of an elf that has seen a lot of things in her life. She looks very serious and very stoic. Eleanor is pretty much the polar opposite of Aurora, which is a elf follower that I featured in a previous episode. She is only available for UMP body type. As you can see, she looks plenty fine in the PUBG outfit. Eleanor has a very stoic and high class look to her, so I think she looks better in certain outfits that are more elegant or fancy. In battle, she uses lightning and ice attacks. Eventually, I will have Aurora and Eleanor fight each other to be the ultimate elf in Skyrim. The frying pan is a mighty fine weapon and all, but what if we need to use a ranged weapon to kill another player that is 900 meters away? Well, we have the rifles Guns Oh My by Tony 1991, and it introduces a few rifles into a knife fight to give you the edge. Now the rifles can be crafted at the forge, and they require steel ingots and firewood. There are 7 rifles that can be made, and they all have their own sound effects. They seem to consist of both bolt action and semi-automatic rifles. Now the first rifle is the M1 Garand. It's a well-known semi-automatic rifle from World War II that was used by some countries on the Allied side. The second rifle is the M1 carbine. It's a weapon that is smaller and lighter, so it's kind of meant for paratroopers, infantry officers, and other special roles in the military. The third rifle is the Kar 98. Now, this is the weapon that we all love and hate from PUBG. It's a good thing that we have a level 3 helmet, so we won't get one tapped by a Kar 98. The next weapon is the Mosin Nagant. Now, it's a Russian-made bolt-action rifle, and it's one of the most mass-produced weapons in the world. And then we have another version of the Mosin Nagant. Now, this one looks like it has been camouflaged and has a suppressor on it as well. Now, this rifle here is called a MK14. Now, it's also a rifle that can be found in an airdrop in PUBG. The last gun is called a testicular rifle. Now, it's not based on any real-life rifle. It's a big rifle, that is for sure. We have Eleanor, who is an elf, so maybe she has a quest for us to do, right? You know, every elf has some magical or mysterious quest for us to do. We have Tramp's Rest, a tribute by Plunket, and it's a dungeon that is based on Dungeons and Dragons. Now, the dungeon can be found near the Fosco's dungeon, and there is a door nearby. Once we're inside, we're greeted by some owl bears, and I'm gonna say I'm not too familiar with the Dungeons and Dragons lore, but I think we all have the right to bear some hooters. Oh man, that's a pretty good pun right there, right guys? Right? Okay, anyways. There are plenty of monsters to fight, like we have goblins, which are pretty weak. We have some beholders, which are some of the scariest monsters in the game, but they're kind of nothing compared to these streakers right here. I mean, for crying out loud, we gotta, you know, shut these things up. There are many monsters to fight, that is for sure. There is a map in the first room that kind of gives us a good idea of what to expect, you know, what all these rooms are, where they all are, kind of the layout of the dungeon. We have these Dungeons and Dragons artwork that is kind of located around the dungeons and on the different parts of the wall. Sometimes they do warn you of troubles ahead, like this big giant cube of jello. We can expect there to be some bosses to fight, but nothing but the strongest warriors and mage can fight them. It also has its own voice acting, as we can see with this talking taco on the wall.
Turn back while you still can. The Sutherland Passage is the domain of Samiraja the Man-Eater, whose games must not be disturbed.
A man-eater? Well, good thing my character is a woman, not a man.
You have been warned.
Anyways, I'm not really an expert with Dungeons and Dragons as I mentioned before, but I'm sure a lot of you guys probably, you know, noticed a lot of things and got some nostalgia from the footage I just showed you guys. Anyways, this is it for this episode of Skyrim Review. If you like this video, bang that like and subscribe button, bang it good. Now, I do have a question to ask you guys. Which of these two elves do you like the most, Aurora or Eleanor? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, which side would win, you know, the Imperial or Stormcloak side? We shall see in the next episode. All the mods that are featured in the video can be found in the links in the video description below. Well then, stay skimpy my friends, stay skimpy.